Hey team, what's up? We are so excited to do another weekly training, and today's topic is going to be a good one. We have Love Light Burns with us today. Hello, Love Light.
Hello.
And she's going to be teaching us a method that is going to blow your mind. It is a spinoff of the ABC method that I trained you guys on a while back with Marsha Hopper. Go watch that YouTube video if you have no it on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it yet, it's amazing. But so we're so excited to have you, Love Light.
I'm excited to be here. I hope everybody has the same success I did.
Yeah, and you guys, here's the reason why I asked Love Light to speak is because I did a post in Team Nailed It, and I said, like, what success have you had this week? And Love Light commented and shared this method and got like a million replies to her comment and tons of messages. Everyone was like, teach me, I need to know this, explain it all. And so she was like, can I maybe, I was like, you need to train on this so you don't have to answer 1,000 questions a day about this. So she is going to talk to us about this. But first, Love Light, will you share a little bit about your Color Street journey before we jump in?
Okay, so I never painted my nails in my life. I'm one of those people. I worked in the gym most of my life, and just was not into makeup. None of it, just none of
Yeah.
it. And one of my girlfriends, I would give her my kidney. She's just one of those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Joined Color Street and invited me to her party. And she was like, "Hey, I know you don't paint your nails, but I also know that you're fun. I've been a group exercise instructor most of my life, so I like to get out and have a good time and be in front of people." And she was like, "Can you just amp up my party?" And I was like, "Of course, do anything for you." So she invited me to her party, and she, posts the links. And so I'm clicking on the links and looking at the pretty nails. And I'm like, "Oh, those are pretty. They're not for me." And then, comes down to like, "Hey, I need one more sale to reach my goal." And I'm like, "Okay, so let me look at these. And for $40, I can support her." So I was like, "Of course I'm going to support you for $40." So I bought, buy three, get one free, glitter, crazy. And my first set was a disaster. I'm not gonna lie, it was a complete disaster. And at the time, I was working as a flight attendant, and I wore my disastrous nails on the plane, and I got 1,000,001 compliments, a million at least.
On your
It
disaster.
was insane. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. And
That's
so
awesome.
I started, sending people to her, referring people to her, and then I was like, wait a minute, let me look into this business. So I sent her a little message like, "Hey, can you tell me a little bit about the business?" And
Yeah.
here I am.
And here you are, man.
Here
That
I am.
could be because you had so many excuses where like, not for me. Nope. I guess
It's totally not for me. You know what though?
oh, this is a disaster. And then it's
That is the
totally
number one reason why you don't discount anybody, right? You invite everybody.
true.
Because she invited me knowing I would go as a friend, but also knowing in her mind that I would never purchase and would never be a part of this. And
Yeah,
here
totally. I love that. I'm glad you shared that. That's such a cool story because I think that is relatable to a lot of people. But here we are. Here we
we
are.
are.
And so I can't wait to hear this method that you did. And this is also going to help you boost your algorithm in your VIP groups. So why don't you dive in on how it works?
Okay. Actually, that's kind of what got me started is, I don't do a lot in my VIP group. I post a nail fee every day. I've kind of had a hard time finding my voice.
Yeah.
What represents me in there, because the majority of people in my VIP group don't know me. They're people that I didn't know before I started Color Street. And
Mhm.
so we hear a lot about making it your own, and I hadn't done that. I hadn't taken the time to do it. And February started out a little rough for me. Did not have a good first week. I had a little pity party for myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is stupid.
Mhm.
And so I took a couple of days off, and I started looking through some of the trainings that I hadn't looked at before, and I came across the ABC method. And so I went and looked at it. I went and watched the video, the training. So please go do that because that's where I got my idea from. And it
Uh-huh.
was awesome. And I thought, okay, this is fantastic. I'm totally going to do this. But I really want more personal interaction. That was kind of my thing. So I took the ABC method, and I did two things to it. One, I added a live. I went live every single night in my VIP group at 8 p.m. every single night for every alphabet, and I did the little wheel of names, and I spun the wheel and chose my letter randomly. One that took the pressure off of me to what letter was next, because your VIPs are sending you messages like, hey, choose this letter next because I'm your best customer. You didn't have to do any of that. There was none of that
Right.
because it was
I love
random.
that it was random. So it kind of kept them on their toes versus the OG ABC method is, just go through it.
Yeah, so you kind of were like, oh, well, my letter will come up in so many days. So maybe they're not really engaged, participating. They're certainly not watching your live because they know when their letter's coming up. So yeah. It was random. And I had people like praying for their letter. Like, come on, spinner.
Get my letter.
Get us my letter. I want this set. Might be gone. So that live really improved the algorithm, obviously.
Yeah, because you did it every day for how many days?
23 days. I took a couple letters out because I didn't have names with those letters.
For X, maybe. Yeah. So she went live 24 days in a row at the same time every night.
Same time every night. Mm-hmm. I had a couple little hiccups. I live in the country and I have a DSL. So it is what it is, and so I had a couple little hiccups that it wasn't exactly at 8:00. But then I posted and let him know, but I did it every single night. Yeah.
I love that. And you know what I love about it is that I think a lot of us don't go live because we're like, I don't know what I'm going to say. What will I talk about? But with you, you're like, I already know what I'm going to do. And it doesn't have to be that long. I'm just going to spin the wheel. I'm going to pick a letter, it'll pick a letter and you can chat for longer or you can just hop off. Like, how long were your lives typically?
Honestly, some of them were like 45 seconds. Because you know what? I had a long day and I just wasn't in the mood, but I'm like committed to this, so I'm going to do it. And some days I had like fun stuff happen or, and so I talked about some stuff that happened that day. So it really varied every single night, just kind of on my mood. But the good thing is the commitment is not to go live and, entertain people forever. If all of your lives are 45 seconds, you still went live every single night. And it gets easier night after night. Like the first couple nights I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then, you kind of fall into the rhythm and you're going to do it. And then you start thinking about, okay, today this happened. I can share that tonight on my live, or my girls are going to be, interested in this, or, I found this small business. So yeah, it kind of became more as the month went along.
Yes, I love that. And then they started to connect with you and, really feel like they were getting to know you, like you said, because a lot of them were strangers. They were getting to know you, connect with you. And how's your VIP group doing now after 24 days of going live?
So, there's a lot more interaction. I can tell you that. A lot more people that were not interacting before are interacting now. But the other thing that I did besides going live, which is that enough? It's enough.
Wait, I just want to show everyone what the Wheel of Names looks like. So this is it's wheelofnames.com, right? Is that what you used?
Yeah.
And then you just added in like
I added in the alphabet. Yeah.
All the whole alphabet.
All the alphabet. And then at the end, it tells you can remove the letter. So the letter that you use automatically removes it and it keeps the rest of them already there. So you don't have to recreate that every night. It just
love that. Okay. Or you could use one of these where my spinner's in the other room.
Yeah, you can use a spinner. I don't have one, so I just use the Wheel of Names, and I actually went live on my phone and then used the Wheel of Names on my desktop. So turn it, and that's how I did it. If you have, I don't know, two options. I don't know if you can go. I don't think you can go live from Wheel of Names and do it. So, but you can spin it and record it and then, post the video. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
I'm not tech savvy, so I use two different devices.
Yeah, I mean, you start sloppy. You just figure you just do whatever works, right?
Whatever works, exactly.
Okay, so that's the first part.
That's the first part.
The second part is?
And the second part is, so I went live, pulled the letter. I posted that letter that night and like, okay, let's interact with this letter. And to be honest, my post didn't get the interaction that I expected as far as like people participating in, show me your kids or that kind of stuff. Definitely more than some of my original posts, but it wasn't as active, especially in the beginning. And then the next day, all of the people whose name began with that letter, I sent them a private message. And that's where the magic happened. It was
Yes.
just insane. I actually wrote down, I kept track of all my interactions, and I had 74 individual personal interactions with my VIP members.
Wow.
And
In
that's
one
huge.
that
Yeah,
is
that's
huge.
huge. Yeah.
That makes all the difference.
It really did. I learned so much about my VIP members by sending them that personal message. And let me tell you, it was a generic personal message that I sent to everybody. Well, I had 3 generic personal messages. So I had people in my VIP group that had never tried Color Street. I don't know how they got in there. They weren't customers on my group. They have never bought from my personal side, never sent them a sample. Somebody invited them at some point. I didn't track that. So,
Yeah.
my
Right.
VIP was a mess.
Uh-huh.
But I had a bunch of people. I sent 14 samples out. 14 samples. So the people that had never tried Color Street, I sent them a message like, hey, thanks so much for supporting my VIP group. I noticed you hadn't tried Color Street before. May I send you a sample? I really love this product and I know you're going to love it too. That's it. I sent 14 samples. Of the 14 samples that I sent, 7 of them became customers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Immediately too. Like, who knows about the other 7 if they're going to or not? We've been interacting.
Yeah, I mean,
immediately became customers. Yeah. So that was amazing. So then I also had people who had, been customers for a long time. And so I was like, hey, just doing a VIP check-in. Today your letter came up. That means that you get a set from my personal stash for $9. You have 24 hours to, choose your set. And also I'm looking to add more value to my group. May I have your favorite color and your birthday? And that's where they're going to respond, right? Because they're going to give you your favorite color and your birthday. And so now you've opened up the conversation.
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't just like a closed, you asked a question at the end, which I think is super important with, messaging anyone. If you want to keep a conversation going, you got to ask a question at the end so that they can respond and you can keep it going. So I love that.
That was a hard one to ignore too, right? I'm looking to add value. What's your favorite color and your birthday? And people are like, oh my gosh, what's she going to do with this? Of course I'm going to send it to her.
Yeah. And what did you do with it? I'm curious.
So the funny thing is, when I started this, and that was my question, I had no idea what I was going to do.
We'll find out.
Literally, like that's a fact. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And so disaster, right? Disaster. So what I have been doing is now I have everybody's favorite color. So when I send little gifts with their orders, I can send them things in their favorite color, maybe a cuticle pusher in their favorite color, that kind of stuff. So that's valuable. Also, when we have new releases, now I know everybody's favorite color. I can say, hey, since you're a VIP and this is your favorite color, I'm giving you a sneak peek on what's coming before I post it in my VIP group. So that has been invaluable. I mean, people are like, oh my gosh, I need that set. Like and now I'm interacting again, right?
Yeah.
So getting to know, opening that conversation even more. And then for birthdays, someone posted in one of the groups that I'm in after I started this, the little birthday scratch off cards.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So the good thing about them is they're not expensive.
Yeah.
You can mail them for a stamp and you can put whatever you want underneath the scratch off. So wherever you are in your continuum of your business, whatever you can afford to do, maybe it's $1 off, maybe it's free shipping, maybe it's free Tuesdays. It's wherever you are in your business, whatever you can afford, you can put that on that and send them all birthday cards. So that's what I'm doing now, sending birthday cards.
Fun. So it's like, I'd never heard of this, so you need to explain it more. So it's like you buy a scratch off card somewhere. Are they generic, or do you?
They're not generic. They're I bought them off Etsy, and it was in one of the Color Street groups that I'm in. So I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like.
People are also saying, oh, you could do birthday club. So
yeah, there's a lot of things. I had no idea what I was going to do. This just popped up. So this is the card. Oh, where's my camera? That's the card.
Hang on.
Birthday, scratch to win. And then you just put whatever you want and put the little scratch off. And it's like a little business card. So, so I've actually been sending this with Tuesdays in their favorite color if I have them. Saying happy birthday. Right. So, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. which is I try to do things that my team can duplicate because not everybody has
Yeah.
the resources to, send birthday presents, and shipping is expensive, and that's the cost of a stamp.
Right. Yeah. And somebody said Amazon too. I bet they're on Amazon.
They probably
Maybe.
are. They probably are. I've been really, my focus this year has been to try and shop small because we all want people to support our small businesses. So I thought,
Yeah, true. I love that.
pay it forward. Let's support other people's small business because what you put out, you get back, right?
Yes.
Law of attraction. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Love that. That's some good karma right there. Yes, this is so great. And the other thing is that I've heard that when you message your anyone, that they're more likely to see your stuff on Facebook. It boosts the algorithm so that because Facebook's like, oh, these people are friends,
They
so
know each other. Yeah, they're going to talk. Yeah.
they need to see more of her posts. So that's another reason. It's not only building relationships, which is the most important thing, but it's also boosting your algorithm so that they can, interact with you.
Absolutely. The number one thing I teach my brand new stylists when they start out, the number one thing that you can do, it doesn't cost you anything and very little time, is wish people happy birthday on Facebook, because that
Totally. It's so
creates an
simple.
interaction. It's genuine, right? It's really easy to do genuinely. It creates
Mhm.
interaction. They're going to say thank you. You're going to say something back. Maybe it starts a conversation. Maybe it doesn't. But as you do that, you'll start to see more and more people. You'll see their stuff and they'll see your stuff. And
Good point.
that's like day one, they sign up. Today, you're going to start wishing people happy birthday on Facebook. And here's why.
I love that. And it kind of like generates that list for you so that you're at least having a conversation with them once a year,
That's true. That's true. That's true. It gives them something to do. When you start, you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm ready to go, but you don't quite know what to do, especially with messages. A lot of people are like, I don't want to be that girl that's sending the hey girl messages.
Yeah.
But sending someone happy birthday it's
genuine.
It's genuine and it's easy and it's
easy. Yeah.
Yes, love it. And when I'll even say, hey, I'd love to send you a little something for your birthday. What's, add your address and all. And then I send them some accent nails too. Or you could send them a scratch off card. Or you could, there's so many different things you could do. So let's see. Somebody said, what's the easiest way to sort your group to get all the people with that letter? Ooh, that's a good question. So let's spin the wheel. You get the letter S, and there's a lot of S. How do you know? Yeah, how do you figure out all the S's? How do you get that data?
Fortunate, I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. So, and I'm a list person. I read Get Over Your Damn Self pretty early in my Color Street career. And she talks about your list and always having your list. So when people join my group, they get added to my list. So I already had a spreadsheet of all the people in my group. And every time on Wednesday, I do Welcome Wednesday and do a little post. And on that day, I add their names to the bottom of the list. And then, this is on my computer and spreadsheet. So this is the one I actually use for the check-in. So it has like all my notes, gave me their date of birth, their favorite color. Did I send a sample? Did I book a party? What happened? But I have this spreadsheet on my, I don't know if you can download your list.
Yeah.
I'm not tech savvy. There's got to be a way.
There might be, but I don't know.
If there's a way, hey, have a training on it. Who's up
Yeah,
next?
if there is a way, please let us know.
I already had it list though, so and as I grew my VIP group, and actually when I do a launch party for a new stylist, I create this list for them, and then at the end of their party, I send it to them, and it tells like all the interactions that the people had during their party, and then who didn't join, so they can follow up, and kind of gives them like next steps after their party. So all my new stylists have one of these lists. So when they asked me how to do this, I was like, use your list.
Use the list.
Use your list, honey. I don't know.
I love it. People are commenting. They said, no, Facebook got rid of that option.
Oh, no, sadness.
I guess that's not an option. And then
You can always just go into your members list and good old fashioned legwork. Type it out, write it out.
that's right. Plus, I wonder, let me know your thoughts on this. After you do your live video and you pick, let's say, the letter S, you could go back to that live video and literally, well, I guess you don't want to tag them because you want to message them. But I mean, maybe you could follow up.
I did tag them. I tagged them in the, I didn't tag them in the live video, but I tagged them in the letter post.
In the post, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's another way you can generate it is in the letter post.
Yeah.
You can type the word S and it will automatically start generating the S names in your group, right?
Yeah. I don't think that it does all of them though. So I did that, but I also used my little list to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Because you don't want to leave anybody out. That would be awful.
True.
Not everybody comes up for some reason. I don't know if it's the way they have their settings or I don't know. That is a very good question. Who can come up with an answer for us?
Love Light. So what's the timeline? So you go live at 8 p.m. and then when do you do the letter post? Is it that same night? Is it the very next day?
After my live? Yeah, immediately after my live, I did the letter post. So then,
sorry, go ahead.
In the post, I tell them they have till 8 p.m. the next night to and with my Yumihu link so that they can shop. But really, the majority of the people that did shop did not shop off that list, off that link. They are off the tagging. They shopped the next day after I sent them a message. A lot of people asked me for my shopping link. So did they not see it? What was the deal?
Some people just want it easy. They're like, can you spoon feed me these nails? You know?
That's true.
I know I'm that way. I'm like, can you make this super easy because I'm a lazy shopper?
Super easy. I tagged you. No, I honestly, I don't know that, but the majority of people that did shopped the next day after I sent them their private message.
Yeah. So, the next day, like maybe the next morning,
that was my first task for the morning. The next day.
Smart.
Normally, it's wishing people happy birthday. A little bit.
But first, the letter, then you did your birthdays. I love it.
Yes.
This is so brilliant in so many ways. People are commenting and saying the list idea, they would love a template for that. We're hinting for a template, Love Light.
I can do that. I have one. It's already created. So
okay. Yeah, if you don't mind posting that in our Team Nailed It group. And then also your wording, people are asking for this, wording is always too. So I'm sure it would give them a starting point.
Post template, post wording. I'm writing notes because I'm old and I forget. Okay.
Yeah, we would love that. Someone else commented and said another way you can search for names is going to your members tab and searching and typing the letter and seeing the list. That's a good point as well. Let's see.
You want to know what the craziest thing of all of it is?
Yes, please tell.
I sold 104 sets. 104 sets. I have a little over 200 people in my group. I also sold over $1,000 on my link.
Wow, guys!
Because people were
yet. Hello, this is your plan. If you start now, you'll probably bonus qualify in this month, but also the next month. Since we're mid-month, you could do a few days, like do the rest of this month, and then next.
I did not start on the first of the month either because I had a little pity party the first week. I did not start.
I love it.
Start at the beginning of the month. Like, who cares? Like, you don't have to start on the first. Just start.
No, you don't even have to start on a Monday. You can literally start today. Start sloppy. That's what I love about you, Love Light. You can tell that you were just like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. You were just like, let's go. Let's do this. And you figured it out on the way. I really believe that is how you succeed in almost anything.
I agree 100%. And, people talk about they find kind of their daily affirmation. And I really struggled with that. I'm like, it's dumb and I don't need one and I can't find one that I like. And then I found one and it said, I will always find a way and a way will always find me. And when I read that, it literally spoke to my soul. Like, that is so me.
That's so good. I'm writing that down right now. I will always find a way, and a way will
always find me.
So good. I love
it. You just gotta believe it. I've always believed it, but I never had like it in words as a daily affirmation. And I read that somewhere, and it was anonymous. So I'm like, I'm totally stealing that.
Yeah, that's so empowering because it's like it takes you out of victim mode. Because you said like your first week you were like, wah, you know, we all have.
I had a pity party.
You had your pity party, and then which is fine. You have a pity party, but then you got to work.
Yes, then you have to move past it. Exactly. I stayed in my pajamas for 3 days. When I say I had a pity party.
It was a pajama pity party.
It was a pajama with wine.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Love light. You're the best. Somebody said, oh, here's a really good question before we wrap it up. She said, what deals do you offer the VIPs? So you mentioned it's $9 from, did you do the same deal for every single person?
I did the same deal for every person. And so here's the thing. My personal belief is we should not be offering deals every other day, every other week. I see it in the graphics group a lot. I'm looking at these deals and I'm like, why are you offering that? We have the most amazing product that is so ridiculously affordable already.
Right.
Why do you do that? So I don't offer discounts in my VIP group, almost never. So when I chose my price, I looked at what I had and I worked out the average cost of what I had and worked it out so that I wouldn't lose money, right? Because that would be dumb. So I came up with $9 a set because that was most of the sets in my stock were under that as far as my personal cost. Mm-hmm. So I offered $9 a set to everybody. And probably one of the reasons it's successful is because I don't offer discounts in my group all the time. In your group all the time, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because people are like, oh, I'll just wait for the next one. And this isn't, she's going to have another one anyway.
Right.
So, but it really has to be what works for you. So I actually had a couple of my stylists ask me that question. How did you come up with the price? And they're like, oh, so I'll just buy stock. And I'm like, no. You're not going to buy stock and sell it at a discount. That's dumb. Take what you have, figure out what you have, the cost that you have in it. Again, I use a spreadsheet because I didn't make it, I bought it. And then that's how I figured out my price. So I offered $9 and I offered it to everybody. And honestly, I gave them an 8:00 p.m. deadline the next day. And if they hit me up 3 days later, they still got the deal because that's why we do that. Like, no. I did cut the deal off at the end of the month or when I was done with the letters. So I was like, okay, this was my last letter. If you haven't taken advantage of the deal yet, you have 48 more hours and then I cut it off.
I like that kind of final push. I mean, one of the reasons this works so well is because you created a sense of urgency, which people are procrastinators, but you have 24 hours, they're like, oh crap, I gotta, it's still fresh on their mind. But even sometimes saying 48 hours, I feel like people forget about it.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
So, and like you said, you sold like you said that one link was $1,000. That's a lot of free nails.
Yeah. I just got all this back free.
Right? That you get to keep and sell back to your group. So make sure you create a custom party link for this specific purpose, because then you can justify that sale price. I mean, honestly, I think people could get away with $10.
They could totally get away with $10. Yeah. And I considered $10, but I really wanted it to be big. I wanted to really kind of wow them. Like, I'm really giving you something for being a VIP. I'm really saying thank you. Yeah. So that's why I went with $9 and not 10.
Yeah. I love it.
I've never done $9 before. Never.
I haven't either.
Please, right? I see people doing it $6. Don't do it.
Somebody said, was it one set at $9 or however many they wanted at $9?
As many as they wanted. No, no buy three, get one free. And I did charge them shipping and tax.
And it was from your stock, or could they use just your Color Street link?
From my stock only.
Mm.
But that's the crazy thing. I sold 104 sets from my stock and still sold a little, like $1,076, $1,067 I still sold on my site.
From your link. Okay. I realized they were separate.
They were separate.
Yes. That's insane.
That's what I was like, okay, if I do this, I have to be ready to, just BBQ this month and, have a little, no, 1,067 on my website link, plus 104 sets from my stock.
Dang, girl. Okay, if you haven't inspired everyone to do it, now we are very inspired to do it. How often, now this is something that obviously you can't do every month, but I feel like this is something you could do a couple times a year, maybe even once a quarter. What do you think?
I was thinking that I would do it again during my birthday month, which is in September. So it kind of gives like some time. The fall line will be out. So it'll be a good time to do like a de-stash.
Yeah.
Kind of works both ways. So that was kind of my thought. I think I won't do it more than twice a year though. That's just my personal.
Yeah. I think this is definitely something to use when you're like, you really need those numbers. Yes. I mean, if you're trying to earn a trip, if you're trying to, earn a rank advance so you can walk on stage at conference or whatever, like keep this little idea in your pocket, put this idea in your pocket and use it. And honestly,
that day that you're having a pity party and you're on the struggle bus, pull this one
out. Yep. And I think the best way to do it is start mid-month. I mean, honestly, just start whenever. But mid-month is kind of genius because then you can kind of bonus qualify both months.
Yeah.
So everybody take Love Light's, follow her example and start sloppy and start now after your pity party, of course.
After your pity party with wine.
One more question. How much do you charge for shipping?
I just increased my shipping charges because it's costing me more. So I was charging $3. That's what Color Street was charging through Pirate Ship. And I was kind of in my safe zone most of the time. Every now and then it would be like $3.01. But since the shipping prices went up, I upped it to $4. And nobody cares.
Awesome.
Not had a single person say anything.
Love it. Okay, this was so good. I hope you guys loved this as much as I did and loved Love Light as much as I did. You're so fun to talk to.
Just so you know, I will be on the stage someday. So there, it's out in the universe.
Yes, you will. It's there. That's because you will always find a way, and a way will always find you. Exactly. We're going to end on that note. Thank you, everyone, and thanks, Love Light. Bye, you guys. Bye.